There's 4 people in there voting. Like, it's the smallest town. I have no idea why they would pick Lake Como. No idea.
Voting got off to a rocky start as bomb threats disrupted the early risers at some polling places. And one of the most watched races in the country, the gubernatorial race, will be decided today by you, the voters. We're live at both candidates' campaign headquarters with a check on how they're holding up. And it's a toss-up who will be the next mayor of Jersey City. News 12's there as voters decide the next leader of the second most populated city in the state. We thank you for joining us this evening. I'm Eric Landskroner. Today is Election Day. New Jerseyans have been casting their ballots all day in this year's contest. We do have Team 12 coverage for you all over the state between the highly watched gubernatorial race between Congresswoman Mikey Sherrill and Jack Ciattarelli and the mayoral races in Hoboken and Jersey City. But we begin with the bomb threats that were called into several polling sites today, including the one in Lake Como in Monmouth County. And that is where we find News 12 New Jersey's Jim Murdoch kicking off our Team 12 coverage. Jim?
Well, Eric, the big question today, why here? Why in Lake Como? That's what everybody wants to know. Not who we're voting for, not who's ahead in the polls, but why did they choose Lake Como? But we're happy to say officials handled it very quickly, and by 10 a.m. here, it was all smooth sailing.
Terrified.
As folks strolled in and out of the only polling location for one of the smallest towns in the state, a sense of relief once the all clear was given.
There's 4 people in there voting. Like, it's the smallest town. I have no idea why they would pick Lake Como. No idea.
Police tell us just before 5 a.m. an emailed threat was received by borough employees. For a short time, the polling location moved about 12 blocks to Belmar Municipal Court, but after a sweep, Lake Como's polls reopened.
It's a small town. It's frightening to my employees. You know, it's upsetting to myself, the mayor and council, and also the people that are running for the office. It's very upsetting.
One threat in Ocean County. It came into Toms River at Cedar Grove Elementary School. Like here in Lake Como, police investigated and found nothing credible. But the question remains, who is behind the threats and why on earth would they target Lake Como?
You know, the worst thing we worry about here is, people coming down in the summertime, maybe having too much to drink.
So as a result of all these threats statewide, there is a massive investigation underway, all the way from local and state police to Homeland Security and even the Attorney General's offices. As soon as we learn something about the threat here in Lake Como, we'll certainly pass it along to you. We're live this evening in Lake Como, Monmouth County. I'm Jim Murdoch, News 12, New Jersey.
All right, Jim, thanks a lot. Of course, there were other bomb threats around the state today, including in Passaic County. School 2 and School 10 in Patterson were listed. Both polling sites inside the schools were evacuated. Fortunately, kids were out of school today. Those polling sites later reopened for voting after all was cleared. The city of Passaic was also targeted. And new information out of Middlesex County. Authorities say a juvenile's in custody after a bomb threat at a North Brunswick polling location. Officers responded to Livingston Park Elementary School right around 8 this morning. No explosives were found. Investigators say the suspect is a local resident. In Montclair, Democratic candidate for governor Mikey Sherrill came out to Hillside Elementary School to cast her ballot today. She was alongside her family and supporters and stopped to talk to the press.
This race has been about affordability, and that's because I speak to thousands and thousands of New Jerseyans sometimes a day. And the thing on their minds is cost, both utility costs, housing costs, healthcare costs, and then how they keep getting worse under this administration with the tariffs, with the One Big Beautiful Bill, with the recent attacks on the Gateway Tunnel.
Last week, Jack Ciattarelli took part in early voting along with around 1.4 million other New Jerseyans. And let's check out the Ciattarelli campaign now. Our Chris Keating joining us from there. Chris?
Eric, good evening. Jack is back. Jack Ciattarelli, the Republican, is making a third attempt at winning the job as governor of New Jersey. Let us remind you that 4 years ago, we were right here at this very same hotel here in Bridgewater, where he nearly upset the incumbent Phil Murphy, a race he lost by just 3 percentage points. And we've always thought that because of that race and because of just how tight it was, perhaps Ciattarelli gained the confidence to put himself right back here on this very same large stage. This time around, of course, it's slightly different in that he has an endorsement from the White House. President Donald Trump endorsed him for the June primary, and that certainly helped him get through that primary, which was a very crowded field. There were 5 others along with Chitterelli in that specific race. And with that White House endorsement, he gained the backing of MAGA supporters. Throughout this campaign, Chitterelli has been more hardline in the past years, when he was seen more as a moderate Republican candidate. Among his campaign promises this time out, Jack has been calling for an end to New Jersey's status as a sanctuary state. He's calling for a new curriculum for all schools and promises to lower electricity costs. And similar to his opponent, he has promised to lower property taxes. Jack Chitterelli is 63 years old. By trade, he's a CPA and a small business owner. He was raised in nearby Raritan here in Somerset County, and he has said all along that he is a Jersey guy, and what New Jersey needs right now is a Jersey guy to be the next governor of New Jersey. In Bridgewater, I'm Chris Keating, News 12 New Jersey.
All right, Chris, thanks a lot. Let's keep things rolling with our Team 12 coverage this evening and check in with Naomi Yanni. She's over at the campaign headquarters of Congresswoman Mikey Sherrill. Naomi?
Eric, we're in East Brunswick tonight following this tight and contentious race from the campaign ads to the debates. It all boils down to tonight. Right now, the scene is set. We'll show you around just a bit. I'll ask my photog, Michelle Boulos. Very quiet right now. Folks are not here just yet, but the venue is set. The scene is set to receive Mikey Sherrill supporters who should be filing in right around 7 o'clock. Now, if you don't know anything about Congresswoman Mikey Sherrill, you know she served this country as a Navy helicopter pilot, and that's often in the foreground of her campaigning. But also, if the Congresswoman is the victor tonight, this would make her New Jersey's 2nd female governor in the state's history. Republican Christine Todd Whitman having been the first and held the office for 2 terms in 94 to 2001. Now, if the Congresswoman becomes our next governor, she'll also have secured a 3rd consecutive term for her party, something we haven't seen since 1961. Now, we'll continue to bring you coverage. We'll continue to follow the coverage here tonight and bring you the updates as they come in. But for now, in East Brunswick, Naomi Yanni, News 12 New Jersey. Eric, I'm sending it back inside to you.
All right, Naomi, thanks a lot. Of course, News 12 New Jersey is your place for election night coverage. Right now, though, we want to get things over to Dave Curran. He's going to walk us through what we can expect for the rest of this election night and what we've got coming for the rest of the week. Dave?
Well, a little on the breezier side most of the day today, but as we continue into tonight, the winds should relax. The skies will remain clear and temperatures are going to drop off dramatically, looking for lows to be in the 30s. Now, we have a wind alert for Wednesday night going into Thursday. We've been dealing with some gusty winds. It's only going to get windier as we get into that time frame of Wednesday night into early Thursday morning. Front comes through, increases the clouds, a couple of rain chances come through. Nothing substantial, but the wind behind that front really cranks. And we're looking for 35, 45, maybe even 50-mile-an-hour wind gusts through that overnight into very early Thursday morning. That's one of the reasons why the National Weather Service is going to continue with that high wind watch for northern sections of the state. So again, could be looking at the power flickering, and we might be looking at some property damage as some branches and trees get uprooted potentially. We had a windy day today. Winds peaking over at Newark Liberty to 35 miles an hour. Atlantic City had a 33-mile-an-hour wind gust, and Trenton also had a 35-mile-an-hour wind gust. That brought in a snap to the air, but with the sunshine, it really was a pleasant-looking day with mainly blue skies and a temperature that reached for, let's say, 63 degrees in the Newark area. The winds tomorrow are going to pick back up, and remember, it's going to be quiet tonight. The winds are lessening to about 5 to 10 miles an hour. But as we go through the day tomorrow, those winds do pick back up. By tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening, frequent wind gusts to 30 and 35 miles an hour and higher in some spots. Why are we dealing with such winds? We had a storm system a couple of days ago, fair weather moving in. That created this recent round of wind. We've got another storm system developing, quick little clipper that's going to drop through. That is also going to squeeze the air as we get into that Wednesday, Thursday time frame and the winds begin to pick back up. So tonight, briefly, the winds let up. The temperatures drop, looking for overnight lows to be in the low and middle 30s across the area. Some spots could be flirting with the freezing mark, especially in the Pine Barrens west of Route 9 in Ocean and Atlantic County. We could also be looking at some very cold conditions in the valleys and the hillier terrain of northwestern sections of New Jersey. Less wind, clear skies, that allows those temperatures to drop off dramatically. I'll have more details on that forecast coming up in just a little bit.
All right, my friend, thanks a lot. The government shutdown continues, leaving SNAP benefits in limbo. How one local business is doing what it can to make sure no one goes hungry. All right, now let's take a look at the closing numbers over on Wall Street. And you can see a pretty big pullback today. The Dow continuing to come off its record highs. It was closing in on that 48,000 mark not long ago. Now down today another 251 points, closing at 47,085. NASDAQ losing 486 points today, closing at 23,349. And the S&P 500 pulling back about 80 points.
Unanswered questions.
Who could want to hurt this woman? Brutally murder her in cold blood.
Unsolved cases.
No forensic evidence, no blood, no fibers.
Unspeakable crimes.
I didn't think a mother could do something like that.
News 12's Emmy-winning series is back with cases that will shatter your belief in humanity.
He left her daughter without a mother, her husband without a wife.
Crime Files. New season premiere November 7th at 9:30 p.m.
Well, it's not just the race for governor that we're following today. In Hoboken, voters are deciding who they want to be the next mayor. The city runs nonpartisan elections. 6 candidates in the race. One of them has to get more than 50% of the vote. And that's where we find News 12 New Jersey's Tom Krasnowski.
Hoboken will have a new mayor for the first time since 2017. The incumbent, Ravi Bala, is running for state assembly. It's been quite a fight to take his place here in Miles Square City. Dini Ejmani is the lone outsider. She's held positions in the state treasury and is vowing to fix the city budget. 4 of the other candidates for mayor are currently on city council. Among them, Councilwoman Emily Jabor, who consistently voted in line with Bala's interests. Councilors Tiffany Fisher, Ruben Ramos, and Michael Russo have frequently made up the other voting bloc of city council. Also running, Patricia Waiters, an outspoken citizen who has run for several positions before. This is a crowded ballot, and with 6 candidates, it's unlikely that anyone reaches the required 50% to win the race tonight. More likely, tonight we learn the 2 candidates that'll square off in the runoff election. That would be Tuesday, December 2nd. But what is Hoboken truly voting for?
Cleaning up the streets and the crime, one goes hand in hand, and then, rent control, I would say.
Education is very important, and also kind of controlling the e-bike situation.
Hopefully with the new governor, I don't know who it's going to be. I don't know who the new mayor is going to be, but I just hope they understand. Think about the taxpayers.
The small handful of people we spoke with that had the I voted stickers on today, they say there's excitement in town. New governor, new mayor, city council positions, lots of change, and they're eager to see what comes next. We'll have more for you on this race moving forward, but tonight, for now in Hoboken, Tom Krasnowski, News 12, New Jersey.
And the winds of change ready to blow right next door to Hoboken in Jersey City. They have a similar situation with the nonpartisan race, but in that race there are 7 candidates, including former Governor Jim McGreevey. News 12's Amanda Eustace has more from City Hall.
Well, more than a dozen candidates are on the ballot vying to succeed Mayor Democrat Steve Fulop and run the 2nd largest city in New Jersey. Now, this will be the first time in more than a decade that a new mayor will be elected. Now, in total, 7 candidates are on the ballot to replace Fulop, who is stepping down after 3 terms to become the next president and CEO of the Partnership for New York City. Now, that is a business organization. The candidates in the crowded nonpartisan field include former school board president Masab Ali, police officer Christina Freeman, musician Kalki Jane Rose, former Democratic governor of New Jersey Jim McGreevey, Hudson County Commissioner and former City Councilman Bill O'Day, City Councilman James Solomon, and current President of City Council Joyce Waterman. Voters say this is one of the most competitive mayor's races the city has seen in more than 20 years.
I mean, I'm feeling hopeful. There's a lot of good candidates in the race this year, a lot of opportunity for change. It seems like everybody's kind of talking about it.
In the last 3 years or 4 years, it's been the same mayor, so I think it's time for change. We need, taxes are killing us over here. It's a big problem, and people just can't continue this way. There has to be change.
Now, it is important to note that tonight there may not be a clear winner because the race is so tight. If no candidate reaches 50% of the votes, the top 2 candidates will then go head-to-head in a runoff in December. Now, the last time this has happened, according to city records, was 2001. We're in Jersey City. Amanda Eustace, News 12, New Jersey.
And stay with News 12 on this election night. Our coverage of the results starting tonight at 8 o'clock when the polls close. Join us tomorrow morning at 5 as well for a recap and update on all of the races. Roughly 1 in 8 Americans rely on Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program benefits, or SNAP. Well, since Saturday, those in need have been without money on their cards, though some level of relief is on the way. News 12 New Jersey's Jill Croce highlights how one Morris County business is making sure no one goes hungry.
I've been on food stamps before. You know, I grew up on food stamps. I know what it's like to go hungry.
That compassion has led co-owner May Murtis and her DoorDash pizza team to take action with a giveaway.
I'm seeing now other people are doing it, which honestly makes me so happy. I love that.
Their establishment is handing out personal pizza pies as the government shutdown lingers on. If a larger family needs assistance, a large pie is up for grabs.
If, you know, somebody doesn't like pizza, just let us know. We're very accommodating, nurturing. Whatever you need, we can give you.
Murtis says they've helped roughly 6 families so far, but they're hoping to extend the outreach. She also has no exact ending in sight, even with Monday's update that the Trump administration will partially fund SNAP after last week's judge's rulings.
As long as there's hungry people out there that don't have access to food, I will continue this. To me, this is an integral part of my faith where we have to help those that need it.
Murtis and the team say government workers affected by the shutdown, those usually relying on SNAP or anyone falling on tough times, are welcome.
Now, we used to live on food stamp in the beginning. Just say the truth. Now that we can give, we don't hesitate.
Partial SNAP funding amounts and when New Jerseyans could see some rollout are uncertain. In Pine Brook, Jill Croce, News 12, New Jersey.
All right, let's talk to Dave Curran right now. The forecast for the next couple of days. When does the wind die down?
So the wind is going to die down tonight. That's going to allow the temperatures to really drop off. Then the winds pick back up tomorrow night going into Thursday, and it is going to get real gusty. That's one of the reasons why the National Weather Service is going to continue with that high wind watch from Wednesday night right through very early Thursday morning. We could be looking at winds frequently gusting from between 25 to almost 45, maybe even 50 miles an hour late Wednesday going into very early Thursday morning. Now, the weather is quiet. We are looking at fair weather kind of nosing in from the Tennessee Valley. That's keeping things fairly clear, and it'll remain on the chillier side. Back out towards the west, there's going to be a clipper system that'll dive into the area, which is more than likely going to allow clouds to collect for tomorrow, late tomorrow, and then we'll see some rain showers tomorrow night into very early Thursday morning. It's behind that weather system that we really start to see those winds really beginning to pick up, and the temperatures will begin to drop on those winds. So we'll peak tomorrow in the mid 60s. The front goes through and those temperatures will then fade down into the 50s. And that's just a little appetizer to the real chill that's coming Sunday night going into Monday. Morning lows are going to be in the 20s and 30s. I'll have more details on that coming up in just a little bit.
As food prices keep rising and the federal shutdown continues, some major retailers are trying to make Thanksgiving a little easier on families, offering full holiday meals at lower prices. News 12's Jennifer Porto-Royale shows us how much you could save this holiday.
All of us have a lot to be grateful for this year. Unfortunately, lower prices isn't one of them.
Business expert Parag Amin says that consumer prices overall are about 3% higher than last year, meaning families will feel it this holiday season.
A lot of consumers are going to be facing higher prices from things like turkey to things like string beans.
Companies are already stepping in with Thanksgiving deals aimed at easing the pain at checkout. Leto has a bundle for 10 people under $36. That is $3.60 per person. Walmart and Aldi around $40 each, feeding 10 people under $4 per person. Compare that to last year, Leto's meal was $45, Walmart's $70, and Aldi's $47. These new prices are a welcome surprise for shoppers feeling the pinch.
As a federal employee myself affected by the shutdown, yeah, it's definitely something I would look into.
The wholesale price of turkeys is actually up 40% year over year because of a shortage of turkeys.
With prices going up, it is making it harder for places like Stoney's Meat Market to find reasonable prices for customers ahead of the holidays.
I try to make it easy for the customer, but it's hard.
Some of the holiday staples included in these retailer deals: turkey, mac and cheese, cranberry sauce, and more. In Edison, Jennifer Porto-Real, News 12, New Jersey.
Oreo is launching 6 new Thanksgiving-themed flavors. See how these grab you. Turkey and stuffing flavored cookies. Really? Creamed corn, sweet potato, caramel apple pie, pumpkin pie, and cranberry sauce are the other ones. Each Oreo cookie is covered in fudge infused with one of the 6 flavors. You can find them only on their website, 12 for $20. Coca-Cola is rolling out a special treat for the holidays called Coca-Cola Holiday Creamy Vanilla. It is the first limited edition holiday flavor for Coca-Cola in 5 years. The company says that the drink is infused with, quote, smooth, creamy vanilla flavors that capture the joy of the season. It's available at stores nationwide and online. Election night is here in the Garden State. The polls close at 8 p.m. Of course, be sure to stay with News 12 as we continue our Election Day coverage right here on News 12 New Jersey.